Hey friends, Ash here. Welcome back to Gents. Hope you're doing well. Award season is upon us, and this is like the Oscars of the fragrance world. The Fragrance Foundation Awards, bro. Can it get more serious? I mean, yeah. But for now, let's pretend like it's the most important thing in the world. The finalists for the best fragrances of the year have been announced, and we're gonna go through those here together. I'm gonna tell you my thoughts, you tell me your thoughts. Let's make this interactive, as if you were hanging out here. But unfortunately, if that were the case, you would just hear me talking the entire time since I can't hear you. It would be a very stimulating conversation. But yeah, it is on. It's time to take a look at what the best fragrances of last year were, according to the pros. And let's make some guesstimations on what might win. And also, let's take a look at what was left out. That's always fun. Take a look at who got shafted, who got snubbed. And we are going to, of course, concentrate on the men's fragrance releases because, yeah, it's pretty much what we do here. So I've got a link in the description in case you want to check out everything as I'm going through it with you, in case you want to toggle back and forth. It is the 2025 Fragrance Foundation Awards, and we're gonna rock right through these. Where to start? That is the question. Let's begin with Fragrance of the Year, Universal Prestige. Now, the way that they do things is a little odd. So they have Prestige and Luxury, and now this year they have Ultra Luxury. So it is a little bit odd because you would think, okay, well, Prestige is designer, I guess, and luxury is niche, but not exactly. I think the way they used to say they did this, at least according to what I saw in the past, is according to how much the fragrances cost. So not as expensive, prestige, more expensive, luxury, and more expensive, ultra luxury. But as we work through this, you'll see that it's kind of just all over the place. Yeah, I would love to do like the Gents awards every year and have like a little trophy made and send it out to like whoever wins. And now I'm kind of thinking that I want to do that and have like you guys vote on it and everything. I might do that toward the end of this year. Let's get into this. So Universal Prestige finalists, and by universal, basically they mean unisex. Cartier Declaration. So they have Declaration on here as the first nominee, and that is the Eau de Parfum. So Declaration Eau de Parfum, which immediately makes me go, what? So that's no longer a men's fragrance line? And also, to be fair, really good fragrance line, absolutely, but that one, yeah, that's a very interesting choice for unisex fragrance of the year. It has a whopping 44 votes on Fragrantica. Not that that's the end all be all, but just not a lot of people into that. And looking through the other options there, I do see Fulton and Rourke. Yay, my favorite brand. You notice they have a fragrance called Blue Ridge, and I used to, but now I don't? So weird. So the other options in there, Guerlain Aqua Allegoria Flora Bloom Forte, which is obviously much more for the ladies. I am unsure of the options here for Universal Prestige, but you know, I'll go with the Cartier, why not? Let's move to some stuff that's actually maybe a little more interesting to you and me as well. Because as I move down, the next one is Fragrance of the Year, popular women's, men's, and universal, and it's pretty much just all women's fragrances, so okay, let's find men's prestige. Here we go, men's prestige. Interesting. So these are the options. I will go through these. Think in your head, which one would you vote for? We have, for men's prestige fragrance of the year 2024, Stronger With You Intensely. So this is an interesting first option because, little known fact, Stronger With You Intensely did not come out last year. In fact, it came out in 2019. 2019, 2024, pretty much the same thing. Now, to be fair, they did launch it in the US and they did like a slight tweakage for 2024, but I thought this was like fragrances just in general, not because it was released in the US. That doesn't Why would that count? And if it wasn't recognized in 2019, why would the slight change in 2024 suddenly make it where it's like, fragrance of the year? I digress. The next option is Better World Fragrance House by Drake, Carby Musk. Better World Fragrance House by Drake. So it is a perfume oil, like rollerball by Drake, and it's $195. It's 10 milliliters for $195. Explain to me exactly how that's in the prestige category. I don't understand how they do this at all. So if you want 100 mils of it, it's $1,950. But don't worry, it's a rollerball, so it's different. And I gotta say, just because Drake's got his name on it does not mean it should instantly be a finalist. Where's the love for Tyler, the Creator? French Waltz by Golf Lafleur. Come on, that didn't come out last year, I'm just saying. Okay, moving on. Next one, Allure Homme Sport Super Leggera, which was a nice smelling fragrance, a good summertime scent, easy to wear casually, nice smelling, like I said just 2 seconds ago. I do have a couple issues with it. One of the issues is it's a super limited edition release. So Super Leggera, you know, is basically not going to be available as time goes forward. So, I mean, you can find it on eBay, but and to be fair, it doesn't say that it has to be like a normal release to be nominated, but I think for a number of people, Super Leggera was maybe, again, not a bad release, but something where they were hoping for like something with more impact, I guess, since there hadn't been an Allure release in so long. And then they're like, here's a new one. By the way, it's gonna sell out in like 2 months and then you're not gonna be able to find it. And it's like a citrus bomb. But you know, other than that, I'll see you in 10 years. Next after that one, Boss Bottled Absolute. I got no stupid thing to spew out of my mouth, like barfing words for this. I just, that one's really good. Yeah, it's good. The next release after that one is Dior Homme Parfum, which came out this year. So yeah, the new Dior Homme Parfum 2025 is nominated for Fragrance of the Year 2024. Christian Dior is like, hey, we could use like a little boost here. Like, could you possibly give us Fragrance of the Year? That way we can use it for our advertising and tell people to shut up when they say, hey, the old Dior Homme Parfum was better. We can go like, haha, we won Fragrance of the Year. And then the final nominee, Polo 67 Eau de Toilette by Ralph Lauren, which I would imagine a lot of people who are like really into fragrances might look at that and say there were way better releases, but I do like Polo 67 a whole heck of a lot as just like a wearable, nice, casual day-to-day fragrance. I mess with it, okay? I mess with it a lot. So those are your nominees essentially for Designer Fragrance of the Year for 2024. Of those fragrances, we have a 2019 release that got a slight tweak and was launched in the US officially in Macy's and everywhere. We have a $200 10 mil fragrance oil by Drake. We have a super limited edition, already discontinued Allure Homme Sport summertime release. We have a 2025 reformulation of Dior Homme Parfum. And then we got Boss Bottled Absolute and Polo 67. So it's a real strong category. All right now, cast your votes. And I want all of you to leave comments down below of which you think will win each one of these categories that we go over. So you can see what you think will win before the actual winning happens, and also what other people think will win. Now, I'll tell you, of these 6 nominees, I would choose Boss Bottled Absolute. That's the one I would say is the fragrance of the year. Which one do I think will win out of these 6? Probably the new Dior Homme Parfum. It's doing decently well as far as sales, and I think that Christian Dior is probably hankering for a W right there, and so I could see that happening. I would be absolutely shocked if Polo 67 somehow beat out Boss Bottled Absolute, a Chanel, a Dior, and a Drake. Dr. Ake, Kendrick Lamar right now looking at this like, I'm gonna come out with the fragrance. I'm gonna crush him. Probably would too. Oh, This one though is so odd to me. Like just, okay. So some of the fragrances that were left out as far as those nominees go: Le Beau Paradise Garden, Eros Energy Scandal Absolute. You had the new Myself Le Parfum last year. You had Invictus Parfum, L'Homme Ideal Parfum, the Scent Elixir, some other ones that maybe shouldn't have been nominated, so it's okay that they weren't. You did have Amen come back. That's something. And also, just kind of throwing this out there, but if you're gonna put out an Armani fragrance that was reformed and re-released in 2024, I would have gone Code Eau de Parfum over Strong With You Intensely. But enough with that, let's move on to luxury. And things are looking weird. Before we hop to these luxurious fragrances though, and view this strangeness, codes. I wanna update you guys, the Maple Prime code, it's Gents 5 now. That is 5% off, you do get free shipping. And do check Maple Prime, they get some crazy wonky deals there sometimes. Essentially, we had a 10% off code, okay? And I'll tell you what happened. You guys used it. Surprise! What? So when the codes were used, Maple Prime was like, wait a second. We don't like that. Have this worse code. So now we have a worse code, which you can use. It's Gents 5, yay. We also got Gents 10 for Gift Express. They have not nerfed that one. And then all the other codes you see here, like JOMASHOP, Fragflex, Perfume Box, etc., etc., etc. And you can use those to save yourself some money across those different websites. Don't pay full price. That's what putzes do. So here we go, men's luxury finalists. Hermes, age 24, Herb V. This is where things are just very, I don't understand. So I'm Googling. Hermes age 24 Herb V. This bad boy at full retail price, okay? If you buy it directly from Hermes, $160 for a 100 mil. And I hate to beat up on the Fragrance Foundation, but I swear to you, every year I look at these nominees and I'm like, this is definitely created just to like get donations from these brands, I feel like. Because like, how do you slot Hermes age 24 Herb Vive into luxury when its price is $160 for 100 mil, but then you've got a 10 mil Drake fragrance in Prestige that's $200, right? The second nominee, House of Sillage Batman 85th Anniversary Limited Edition. Now, to be fair, I have not smelled House of Sillage Batman. And they've made a number of Batman fragrances. So they had some like a while back. I actually did on This Week in Fragrance. But yeah, I've not smelled that one. I ain't got nothing, man. I don't know what to tell you. After that, Santal à la Vida by Cody. Then Kilian Paris Old Fashioned, Tom Ford Bois Pacifique, and Van Cleef & Arpels Extraordinaire Ensemble Précieux. This is just all over the place. So you have some mid-level designers as far as pricing goes. You've got a random Tom Ford in there. You've got yourself Kilian. You have a higher end Cody release. And then you got a rando Van Cleef & Arpels. This is some straight up crackhead stuff. I don't know, man. So let's do guesstimating which one will win. My guesstimation is the Tom Ford. The reason for that is Tom Ford wins just about every single time. That being said, it would not surprise me if the Kilian won. If the Hermes won, I would be very surprised considering what it's up against. And I don't see them giving it to one of the other ones, but I could be wrong. But if I'm casting my bet, placing my bet, spending my money, they'll probably give it to the Tom Ford or the Kilian. To be fair, I wouldn't have chosen that Tom Ford for that year. Now, the consumer's choice, and this is for women's, men's, and universal prestige. Why? I don't know, but apparently heck with it. Throw in the women's against the men's against the universal, because they should all fight to the death inside of a cage, UFC style, except they don't fight to the death in the UFC, but you know what I'm saying. What are the options? And these are the ones that you can vote on. So if you went there, you can vote for the consumer's choice. I don't know actually if they've opened up the voting yet, but they allow the voting. And so this is prestige. This is what you would consider typically designers, like lower level to mid-tier designers, or at least traditionally. The first option is Better World Fragrance House by Drake Carby Musk Fragrance Oil. I don't want to put out any conspiracies, but I do find it hard to believe that everybody there was like, guys, have you smelled the new $200 10 ml fragrance oil? Oh my God, it's so good. But it's right there. So it's Burberry Her Intense, Joe Malone, Hinoki and Cedarwood, Kayali Yum Bougie Marshmallow, Maison Martin Margiela, Afternoon Delight, Polo 67, and Eros Energy. It blows my gourd. Like, those are the options. Like, what? These don't have a whole hell of a lot in common, do they? You got Joe Malone over here. You got the Eros over here. You got the tin oil fragrance oil over here. You got the replica over here. So, I don't know. I would assume that with like the, the influencer aspect, maybe the KLE wins this one if they get enough votes in, but that would be my guess. As far as the men's releases, there's like 2 of them. I guess 3 if you count the fragrance oil. Between those 2 in a vote, I would say Eros Energy would probably win. I think it would pull more votes overall. And then when you go to the popular choice, consumer choice fragrance of the year, none of those are for men. So like, thanks. Because it says women's, men's, universal finalists, and then it's just like all fragrance mist, body mist, hair mist, like, okay. Let's see what's on the ultra luxury, because dude, we need to know. We need to know the ultra luxury. I need to know, brother. There is ultra luxury, right? Am I a moron? Is there no ultra luxury? There is ultra, who cares? I take it back. It's women's, men's, and universal. There is Dolly Parton there though. I'm going for Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton Crystal Edition. Is it horrifically overpriced? You bet your bottom dollar, baby, it is. What will win, the Gucci or the Tom Ford? But I'm going Dolly Parton. By the way, the Gucci is the Heart of Leo and the Tom Ford is Black Lacquer. One of those will win. I'm saving you guys time. You don't need to look this up. I've already told you who's gonna win. I'm gonna be wrong on every single one of these and I'll just be like, But now we come to the final, most important category, Hall of Fame. The Fragrance Hall of Fame. Only one fragrance will move into the Fragrance Hall of Fame, the hollowed halls of the Fragrance Hall of Fame, on par with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, on par with the Football Hall of Fame. And by football, I mean both kinds, NFL or football. You running and kicking the ball, kicking, goal. Yeah, it's that important, baby. It is that big. Let's see. First up, the Ventus. Done by a perfumer, let's see, Olivier Creed. Still going with that. All right. I want to become a member of the Fragrance Foundation. I would be kicked out so fast. I'd be like, hey guys, can we, oh, I'm out? Okay. All right, see ya. Sorry about that. I still get paid though, please. Yeah, Ventus. Going up against, of course, DKNY, Be Delicious. To be fair, the Hall of Fame does not judge based off of what type of fragrance you are, but it is quite the juxtaposition to have Creed Ventus followed up by DKNY Be Delicious in the little apple bottle. All right. The next option, Portrait of a Lady by Freddie M. Frederick Maw. Bit of a big release as far as the niche world is concerned. It's a bit of a doozy. After that, Joe Malone, Lime, Basil, and Mandarin. Frankly, you go with a lot of different Joe Malone fragrances. They have been quite instrumental in the evolution of fragrances in general, so I got no hate there. Rabanne, 1 million. They dropped the Paco. I'm never gonna get over it. But yeah, the original 1 million. A lot of people, they hate on 1 million, but very important, very important. Big release, still extremely popular. And then the final option, another lady's choice here, Versace Bright Crystal, which my wife had quite a while back. Not my favorite, but real popular. Now this one could go, I feel like, 2 different ways. I feel like the obvious one is Aventus. I feel like it's just been so big that it kind of wins out automatically. No matter what you think about Aventus, it's like, oh, well, hey, we got to get it in there. Let's go ahead and put that in the Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? That's what it feels like. It feels like just one of those options where when it pops up, you're like, well, okay. Like going back to the NFL, not the exact same, of course, but it's almost like Tom Brady. Like you can think whatever you want about Tom Brady, but when he comes up for the Hall of Fame, right? Is anybody going to be like, oh, he doesn't deserve Deflategate, bro? Like, no, they're going to be like, yeah, here you go. Go ahead, right in there, right there. Yep, there you go. The only other one that I feel like could make us swing for it is Portrait of a Lady, just because it does have such a cult following, and I don't mean that in a negative way. Of course, 1 million, you could make an argument for that, but 1 million, you know, it's always catching strays. People always hating on it, but it is massive, extremely important, huge release, and I think as far as those fragrances go, put all 3 in. Who cares? Heck with it, man. Put them all in. I don't know, a little apple bottle? Why not? Actually, my wife had that one too. She had a few of them. Got them for like 15 bucks. So, you know, it's a pretty good deal. But yeah, let me know what you think about that one. Like I said, I feel like it's a foregone conclusion that it's Aventus. It's tough. It's tough. And so we'll call it there as far as the different categories that we are judging here together today. So going back over my choices, we are gonna lock these in. Ultra luxury, I'm gonna lock in the Tom Ford. Men's luxury, I'm locking in the Killian, only because I already picked the Tom Ford, but I feel like it's 50-50, Killian or Tom Ford. Prestige, I'm locking in Dior Homme Parfum. I want Bottled Absolute. Consumer choice, I am locking in K. Ali. And Hall of Fame, I'm locking in Aventus. So, yeah, that may not happen at all, but I feel good about some of those. And by good, I mean, like, I just feel like, so there it is. The Oscars, the Grammys, the Emmys, the Razzies, all the awards, the Tonys. None of them compare to the FFAs. So those are the options. Let me know what you think about those nominees. Let me know what you think the winners will be. We will judge each other harshly upon our choices and say to each other, no, that one has no chance. And then when the one that we have selected loses and the other person, what they selected wins, we will play it off as if that never happened. So when the Hermes wins, I'll be like, Hermes always wins. I knew that was gonna happen. Of course, that makes sense. Thank you guys for hanging with me. Thank you to the Fragrance Foundation Awards for putting that together every year so that we can go through and have ourselves a grand old time. And thank you to the Fragrance Foundation Awards for recognizing the best fragrances of the year as well. We gotta show some love, right? Thank you guys. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe out there. See you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you later.